Welcome to Core Finance, live from London. Sponsored by Beaufort Securities, live on Facebook at Core Finance TV. And for you young people out there, a Twitter handle at Core Finance TV. I'm joined by Matt Brown, market commentator at Core. Very good morning to you, Matt.
Good morning, mate.
Right, let's talk about something sombre this morning. Barcelona hit by terrorist attack.
Yeah, very sad. Obviously, thoughts go out to the families and friends of the people affected by this attack. Sadly, we've seen similar events happen in France last year, London this year, and now obviously Barcelona. It is a sad day for all involved.
And it's extraordinary. We were talking about a data point recently, 30 million visitors a year.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, it's a place to go for tourists. It's a wonderful, vibrant place, and hopefully, as we saw with London, they can keep open, and those numbers, I think it was incredible numbers, 30 million visitors a year or something like that. Let's hope that continues and they can move forward.
Understood. Thank you for that. Right, let's kick off with market movers. The headlines: markets trade lower. S&P biggest fall in 3 months. Now, I love cross-referencing. We saw Alessio Rastani in the studio yesterday suggesting a big fall was on the cards, and within 24 hours. Where else do you get analysis like that in London?
Oh, it was live. It was, he obviously knew something, but biggest fall in 3 months. It still potentially has a lot to give back. But as we saw a couple of weeks ago with North Korea really coming to the fore, S&P fell back quite aggressively, but buyers came in. But there are still buyers out there. The problem is it's how many times.
They bought the dip last week. Will they buy the dip this week, next week? That's the question.
Exactly. And obviously look at Alessio. He'll look at Elliott wave theory. There becomes a point where you can't keep on buying the dips, or the market will not continue to buy the dips.
There was a separate video well worth looking at if you're worried about the state of the marketplace, suggesting the high yield bond market was basically a forerunner to a potential equity correction. I would suggest you watch that. Right, let's move on to the FTSE one to watch. IAG, International Airlines, the old British Airways in my language.
Yes, again, linked to the Barcelona tie-up. As you say, British Airways tied up with Iberia, obviously the Spanish airline as well. So, look, IAG is down about between 2 and 3% this morning on the back of the sad terrorist attacks in Barcelona. Also, Ryanair, EasyJet, Carnival, the ADRs as well were trading down. These are all the tourist operators or tourist-related companies. But we have seen things like this in the past after the France attacks last year, London attacks. The airlines do automatically. There's a knee-jerk reaction. They do sell off, but then people still see the passenger numbers are not too affected. They do take a few quarters really to feed through, but just bear that in mind that they may bounce from the initial sell-off.
Understood. Right, let's kick off with an AIM one to watch. Now, this is a stock I've never heard of. Yolo, Leisure and Technology. What on earth?
Well, YOLO is an acronym used by the youth, the kids of today. Any ideas what it means?
You only
live once. There,
okay.
I did brief you ahead of the show. Now, this is an umbrella company. They're investing in kind of music technologies and whatnot. And one of their companies, Electric Jukebox, which is the trading name for Magic Media, is basically looking for a float. And they've been backed by the likes of Sheryl Crow and Robbie Williams. We were talking earlier during the week about Adele investing into the market. So pop stars are putting their money into companies. Had a big rise in the AIM market yesterday. It was covered in the Evening Standard last night. Take a look. It's dropped back a little bit this morning, but it's an interesting company and certainly worth looking into if you want to get into that space.
Understood. Let's talk about currencies. The Great British Pound, the Euro, Great Britain, British Pound crossed 90.99, and cable, the Great British Pound against the US dollar, 128.94.
Yeah, no big moves here, to be honest. I mean, the FX market has been moving around a little bit, obviously, after the attacks, etc. Gold has rallied, but worth noting the euro. Just take a look at that. The ECB yesterday in their monetary policy meeting came out and said, look, they are concerned about the rise of the euro, certainly against the dollar, trading above 117. What does that mean? Well, a stronger euro is not good for their business there. Yep. And also, they're just mindful of if they start unwinding the QE or interest rates start going up in the future, the market expects that to happen. And let's be honest, actually, the economic data out of Europe has been quite good of late. That will push the euro higher, and that may cause certain problems.
In the meantime, euro 3-week low, as predicted by yours truly at the beginning of the week on the charts.
Yes, a pound to you, sir.
Let's take a look at broker upgrades. UBS, Just Eat is the company. Buy from neutral, 740 target, previous 760. I've never understood this business, but...
Yeah, well, look, Just Eat, one of the first to get involved in the apps and the delivery business. It found a gap in the market between... I'll be careful what I say, but chicken shops that are selling stuff you probably ring a bell at during the day saying unclean. But anyway, fair enough. They found a gap between the chicken shops and the takeaway venues and the customer, and that works. Now, they had a bit of a sell-off in July. They weren't really sure where they were going to spend and what was going on there. But Just Eat, UBS have looked at them and said, look, they're trading around 645. There is a certain amount of loyalty. Now, loyalty there isn't with other companies that are in the same space. So they see potential upside now for Just Eat. They have adjusted their target from 760 down to 740, but they are going from neutral to buy. There's a little bit of an opportunity there as upside. Take a look at that.
Understood. Let's move on to the core number of 4,500. That's got to be Bitcoin, right?
Yes, Bitcoin. Look, we couldn't end the week without talking about Bitcoin. It's in the news. It's there. Look, it's had a great push up. It's a little bit lower today. I believe it touched about 4,500 on a few exchanges. They had to amalgamate a few of them, but 4,500. Not going to go into the analytics of it, but I believe over the week we've had quite a few people.
2 videos, ADVFN, Clem Chambers, the founder. We've had Eddie Toffpick from ADM.
Yeah, on our FX Street sector.
Take a look at that.
Yeah.
Right, let's move swiftly on to the economic calendar. Today in Canada, CPI. In the US, we've got the Fed speaks and the Baker Hughes rig count. So a pretty quiet day.
Yeah, quiet on the data points. It's, as we started the show, look, it's Trump. I mean, he ended the infrastructure committee. This is council. This is the people that were going to decide where all the money from Trump's tax cuts or infrastructure spending was going to come. The White House a few months ago was a hive of activity. Now has just become a vacuous man cave. And business leaders are dropping out. And again, we spoke a few days ago about what this actually means for the US economy going forward. Soros is putting bets against Trump, and it's all adding up to not a positive story for the US and certainly the US dollar.
Matt, thank you very much indeed.